You mentioned
I don't know about that.
contracts.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you guys this real quick because it started as a Myles Garrett topic and we kind of went off. But by staying and Andrew Berry saying we're not going to trade Myles Garrett, that kind of insinuates a contract extension is coming. The highest paid non-quarterback in football right now is Nick Bosa, who got a $170 million deal worth $34 million on an annual average basis. If that's the highest paid edge rushing market right now, you can see Myles' current deal is the fourth highest. What do you think his new contract will look like, G?
200. He's going to get $200 million. And the reason he's going to get $200 million is a nice round number. It puts him, because he feels, Myles Garrett really, they getting him on the cheap right now, to be truthful. And the only way that they appeased him in that way, shape, or form is this is Deshaun Watson appeasement. Deshaun Watson was like, I'm cool, I'm going to go somewhere else. And they was like, we'll give you this amount guarantee. Oh, well, things changed a little bit now, don't they? Now, Myles Garrett, they're going to have to overcompensate him for his loyalty. So guess what? He's getting Nick Bosa getting 170. I think he's in due for $200 million, and it makes
How
him.
many years?
3
Well,
or
that would have
4.
to be 5. No, it's not going to be 3.
It'd have to be 5. You're getting
It'd have to
$200
be
million.
5.
That would give it a $40 million annual average value.
That's
Just
right.
pay him $15 million for every win.
Yeah, that's it. and that's so.
I say that
You get
sort
a
of-
contract,
I
and
say
you
that-
get a
I say
contract.
that sort of in jest, but I mean the guy's 30 years old, and you're going to be locked up. You give him the largest contract of any pass rusher in the league at that age. I mean, he's going to be here. He's going to retire Brown, which will make a lot of people.
But it also may hamstring you a little bit.
Yes, because now all of a sudden you can't trade him. Who's trading for a 31-year-old pass rusher
Nobody.
who's making $200 million?
Nobody.
And here's the other thing. On the progression chart of defensive ends, he is probably, if he's in his prime still, he's at the end of his prime. And then, so they usually go like this, and they plateau, and then they go like that. Now, I will say this about Myles Garrett. I'm not going to apply any human standards to him. He is Superman.
Yeah, he is.
You look at him, he doesn't look like anybody else. He doesn't play like anybody. He's one of one. So I do think that he might be able to extend his career to 35. I think that I would bet on this dude being in shape to play at 35. I would just bet on it. I think that would be a safe bet, barring some unforeseen tragic injury.
I just think that he and it stinks that it's come to this, but the Browns have put themselves in this position. They made their bed.
You're right.
When they signed Deshaun Watson, they put themselves they exposed themselves to a risk where they may have to lose good players.
You're exactly
because
right.
they don't have any assets.
Yeah.
And it's gonna suck if you do trade him. It sounds like they're not going to, but they've said a million things over the years that have come to not be true.
I can't think of anything they've said so definitively that they defiantly then changed. I'm open if anybody can think of one.
Andrew Berry does not own the Cleveland Browns.
No, I know he doesn't, but he talks every day to the guy who does.
Correct.
And he's got his finger on the
guy,
pulse of
and the
what
guy
he
and the guy who,
thinks.
and the guy that Andrew Berry talks to also changes his mind every other second.
That's true.
So I don't
Which
believe.
is part, by the way, I think we just kind of peeled back the layers and hit on what the real problem is.
Of course,
with
it's the real problem. But here's the
If you
thing:
have a
we
point-
can't get rid of the owner.
No, you can't. You're stuck.
So we're just really, really sitting here with a rabbit's foot in our pocket,
Guessing.
hoping we find the right quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. We're hoping. And also, you can't get to your point on the horizon if you constantly move it. And that's the problem with this organization. They have constantly moved the point on the horizon.
Well, I give them credit. They didn't move the point on Stefanski. He's been here 5 years. They gave him the vote of confidence.
I think recently they're trying to stay the course and see what happens. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that recently they have decided that, okay, we can't change head coaches every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, look, they made the decision. They could have very easily said, all right, well, Deshaun Watson is on one of y'all. I'm going to make y'all a scapegoat. We're going to get rid of all of y'all. They didn't do that.
No.
They came back. They were steadfast in what they were saying. And so now they got to 6 years, 5 years. We'll see what they do this year, though.
It's a big year.
Huge.
For everybody. I think it's bigger for the front office because if the front office doesn't deliver, it's more difficult for the head coach to deliver. But I've made my predictions. You can write them down. I could be wrong on both of them, but I think they draft Abdul Carter. I think they sign Myles Garrett to a long-term contract, and I think at the end of the day, for better or worse, it's better than any option that I've heard anybody bring up yet. I think we get Kirk Cousins in here.
I just, and this is my opinion, obviously, I don't think there's any way they're not taking a quarterback really high, whether it be at 2 or trading back to
We'll see.
9, 10, 11, 12, whatever it may be, something like that. Because, dude, there's no way you're going into next season without something to hold your hopes on to at quarterback. And it's not going to be Will Howard or Jackson Dart or
Kirk Cousins
or Kirk Cousins.
It won't be.
Now,
because I've seen this quarterback, I've seen this coach work almost miracles with guys that nobody else thought could play.
We're going to talk more quarterbacks
like who? Like Flacco?
Flacco and Jameis.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen him do it.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are talented players. I mean, they
were, but I think
they can do it for stretches.
And I think Kirk is the same way. Look, I'm not saying Super Bowl, Kirk Cousins Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm saying Kirk Cousins gives this organization an opportunity to fight for a 500 record next year. I don't know that Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders do. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a long game. If the only way I'm cool with Kirk, they better draft a quarterback.
I also don't think Kirk's
Well, they're
Kirk's
drafting
very
a quarterback
anymore.
somewhere, G.
They better draft this quarterback.
They're not going to go 7 rounds without calling a quarterback's name. They are getting a quarterback
Top
in
3
here.
rounds.
I want that too. I agree.
No 4th and 6s.
I agree.
Top 3.
I
If
agree.
they don't take a quarterback in the top 3 rounds, I think everyone in this city will riot. So we'll all be on the same page.
True.
And we're going to talk.
Guys, this is an organization that's building a new stadium that wants to have
But they
excitement
want to build a new stadium.
and buzz. They're going to build a stadium. And they're going to need people to be excited about it. You have something to say about that?
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Go ahead. Spill the beans.
Well, I've said it before on this show. There are obstacles for them getting this done.
Okay, so you think it's not happening?
I think there is still a legitimate chance it does not happen.
Okay.
Now,
I mean, I
no, legitimate chance
I would
means
listen to you more than me.
something over 25%. It's not 99%
You
that
think
they're
it's
building a new stadium.
75% to get it done?
I do.
Okay.
I think a 75% chance that they get it done. And I also would say the caveat to that is if they do, they're paying for almost all of it.
Yeah, billionaires always get what they want, man.
They do, but when they find out that they don't have the help that they thought they were going to get, that check gets bigger. What's his tolerance? I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll find
he also
out.
bought the team. He bought this team for a billion, and they're worth $4 now.
You're right.
Like he's doing fine.
Oh, listen, he's absolutely doing fine. But rich people stay rich and get richer because other people pay their bills.
Yeah, but he's also going to get richer by building a new stadium. I mean, like everything's going to help. Everything goes to his pockets.
Well, his
you know?
his worth and the team's worth would go up for sure.
God, yeah. Heck
Because
yeah.
now it's
an
their asset. They own it.
Yes.
Unlike what now, their
Right.
situation now, they obviously don't own that stadium.